Some human bodies are so unbelievable that you really have to look twice to believe they are real. That is exactly how you will feel, for example, when you see the biggest butt in the world, which gets stuck in almost every doorway, or hands that are so huge they do not even fit into a jacket pocket. Today, we are showing you 8 people with truly unbelievable body measurements. Let's start with a person whose extreme body measurements are focused on one very specific body part, and that is her buttocks, which are the largest in the world. They belong to 53-year-old Michal Ruffinelli from Los Angeles. She holds the record for the widest hips and the biggest butt in the world. The circumference of her massive backside is 2.5 meters. That is roughly the height of a horse. But her butt does not just break records, it also breaks chairs. Because such a gigantic backside also means a lot of weight. It is not uncommon for furniture to collapse underneath her, assuming her butt even fits on the chair in the first place. On airplanes, she always has to book 2 seats to have enough space, and at the hairdresser, a sofa is often needed instead. Even normal doorways are too narrow for her hips. Since she cannot fit through straight on, she always has to walk sideways. Climbing stairs is also extremely difficult for her.
I always help my mom up and down the stairs, whatever she needs. Getting into the car, just like, Mom, if you need my help, just let me know.
By the way, these extreme proportions are not the result of a Brazilian butt lift surgery, but are actually natural. Michal suffers from a condition called lipedema, which causes these fat deposits. In addition, she has gone through 4 pregnancies, and with each baby, her hips became even wider. Her husband loves her exactly the way she is, and even says that his love grew the bigger her butt became. Extraordinary body measurements do not always have to be visible, though. Sometimes they can also be heard, like with the 53-year-old man from Oklahoma. He has the deepest voice ever measured in a human being. Just listen for yourself.
My lowest note would be somewhere around if you were to take another piano and sit on the bottom, on the left side of a piano, that would be about how low I could go.
Tim can produce much lower tones. He can reach the note G7. This earns him 2 Guinness World Records at once. No one before him has ever reached such a deep tone or had such a wide vocal range of over 10 octaves. How deep his voice really is becomes clear when he sings.
Die to Harold Jordan Rowe.
Some of the tones are actually so low that they are barely audible to the human ear. They vibrate more than they sound. He likely owes this special ability to a unique anatomy of his vocal cords. They are significantly longer and vibrate more slowly than those of other people. Tim uses his voice, among other things, for choir projects and sound effects. The next candidate on our list cannot really make practical use of her extraordinary body feature. The Chinese woman Yu Jiangxia has the longest eyelashes in the world, officially documented. They are 20.5 centimeters long. They look like something you have to get used to, and as Yu explains, are not practical at all. Her eyelashes are constantly hanging in her face, which is why she sometimes simply tucks them behind her ears together with her other hair. It then looks as if she had drawn an extremely long eyeliner line. Not even doctors can explain why her eyelashes grow so incredibly long. She is the only one in her family with this unusual body feature. A few years ago, her eyelashes suddenly started growing out of nowhere and just never stopped. So it is entirely possible that her eyelashes will grow even longer and that you might set a new record again in a few years. A completely different but at least equally extraordinary body measurement belongs to the Briton Clive Waring. Not on the outside, but inside his head. He basically holds the record for the shortest memory span in the world. Since a severe brain inflammation in 1985, he's been unable to remember anything that happened more than about 7 seconds ago. After that, everything is wiped away. For Clive, every moment feels like he is just waking up over and over again. He has no idea where he lives, what year it is, or how old he is. He has now lived with this memory loss for 40 years, making it the most severe case of amnesia in the world. And even though he has forgotten almost everything from his past, including the names of his children, there are two things he remembers very clearly. First, he can still play the piano flawlessly. And second, he has never lost his love for his wife, Deborah. He recognizes her immediately when he sees her, and every time he believes he has not seen her for years, even if she has only left the room briefly. Accordingly, his greeting is always incredibly heartwarming.
He'll probably jump up and down, take me in his arms, squeeze me very hard, and quite possibly dance.
Oh, that's
Deborah arranged for him to be placed in a specialized care facility for people with brain injuries, where he has been professionally cared for many years. However, she visits him regularly. Next, let's move on to a man whose unusual body proportions have brought him worldwide attention. The body part we are talking about is definitely impossible to miss. The 62-year-old American Jeff Dabe is one of the people with the largest hands in the world, and this without any medical cause whatsoever. His hands are so massive that one hand is almost as large as an average human head. The circumference of his forearm is 0.5 meter, and his hands almost cover an entire A4 sheet of paper. Even a toilet paper roll looks small on his fingers. Jeff already stood out at school because of his enormous hands. Doctors were never able to explain why his limbs are so massive. He is simply a true natural phenomenon. Today, Jeff uses his oversized hands quite successfully as an arm wrestler. There, he is considered a real crowd favorite because his hands look like extra large-sized gloves compared to those of his opponents. From big, gigantic, and powerful, we now move to the exact opposite. A man who has reduced himself to the absolute minimum in the truest sense of the word. The Thai monk Luang Pho Yai is so shockingly emaciated that it is almost unimaginable how he is still alive. His appearance resembles a skeleton more than a living body. At the time of these recordings, his body fat percentage was below 2%, which is the absolute minimum. However, if you know his background, his condition becomes easier to understand. Luang Pho Yai was already 109 years old and had lived almost his entire life according to the so-called Theravada tradition. This means he restricted his diet extremely over many years. Theravada monks are only allowed to eat between sunrise and noon, and only what is donated to them. Preparing their own meals is forbidden. Despite this extreme renunciation, or perhaps precisely because of it, many monks live to a very old age. In March 2022, shortly after these video recordings, Luang Pho Yai eventually lost his strength. The next man has also managed to reduce something about himself completely, and more precisely, his thoughts inside his head. The 79-year-old Frenchman, Mathieu Ricard, is a Buddhist and lives in a monastery in Nepal where he spends a great deal of time meditating. Through this, he has succeeded in drastically reducing his brain activity. Scientists discovered that during meditation, his brain shows almost no negative thoughts or stress patterns. While there is constant chaos in most people's minds, his mind is almost perfectly silent, like no other person in the world. The areas of the brain responsible for positive emotions are so highly developed in him that he is considered, from a neuroscientific perspective, the happiest person in the world. So here we are dealing with an absolutely enviable body measurement. Just as impressive, by the way, is the brain performance of 50-year-old Terence Tao from China. He officially has the highest IQ in the world and is therefore considered the most intelligent person on the planet. While the average IQ is around 100, his is 230. How extremely intelligent he must be becomes clear when you look at his career. He skipped 5 grades, attended university-level math courses at the age of 9, and earned his doctorate at just 21. We would also like to briefly mention the model Nyakim Gatwech, because she has also earned herself a worldwide title as the Queen of the Dark. The 32-year-old from South Sudan is considered the woman with the darkest skin in the world. Instead of hiding her extraordinary skin color, Nyakim is proud of it and uses her fame to make a statement for diversity. Now let's move on to someone who truly has a very extreme body measurement, or rather, body mass. The 37-year-old Gavin Bilton from Wales is considered one of the strength athletes with the greatest muscle mass in the world. He weighs over 205 kilograms and managed to lift more than twice his own body weight, almost 440 kilograms. To look like this and deliver such an extreme performance, he has to train almost all day long. And now we would like to hear from you. If you had the choice, which of these extraordinary body measurements would you most like to have yourself? Write your answer in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you next time.